Okay. I thought we were still waiting for the sound.
No, no,
Okay.
we did that.
Okay, cool. Nice. Hello, and welcome back to Ashley Bain Makes. And today is very special because I am here with
There.
Yay! So today we are going over what we got at the Ujamaa Grandma secondhand fabric and craft sale. And I had dragged her with me. I'm going to leave. She's another creator here on YouTube. We've been hanging out for
A couple months now.
yeah, actually longer than that.
Longer than that.
Yeah, so, and I dragged her, and this is finally the first time that we are on camera together, so that's very exciting.
Because every time we get together, one of us forgets our camera. Usually.
Well, and also it's like a little overwhelming to do these things with a camera in hand, hence you're getting an after haul.
We're going to have to ask Stephanie Canada or one of the other gals we know of who actually do collaborations often. Do you guys just whip out the camera?
Whip out the camera and be normal about it.
Yeah.
So this was definitely very chaotic, but so we went to this one of the largest fabric and craft sales here in town, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
That's what they say on the website, so I'm believing them.
There was a lot.
There was a lot. It was very overwhelming. I'm glad we went together. And all the proceeds go to help other grandmas in Africa whose families are victims of HIV and AIDS crisis over there. Normally, I'm a big fan of supporting charities a little bit closer to home, but the sale has been running for a really, really long time, and it seems quite successful and seems to be a valuable charity. So
The other thing, I was reading the website, apparently they donate Stephen Lewis Foundation, which I gather relies heavily on USAID, which, with what's going on down in the States right now, has been defunct.
yikes.
So they need everything they can get.
And also we got fabric. So
Yeah.
fabric, yarn, things, stuff. So I thought we would go through what I got today. You can go and check out what she got on her channel.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
I was not prepared.
Yeah, I don't think either of us were fully prepared. So
So instead of going to the thing with us, and there will be B-roll.
there will be B-roll.
There will be B-roll.
So these are from the Ujamaa Grandma Instagram, and I had seen these couple of reels right before we went in, which is a little bit concerning and overwhelming before you even get in the place, but I thought I would share these because they just show just how huge this sale is without showing anyone's faces, which is kind of useful for our purposes. I just want to make sure, consent and all that. But I think this really gives you a good idea of how it was set up in all these different sections. It sort of works like dim sum, basically, where you go through each section and the ladies mark down what you got in each section, and then you pay for everything all at the end, so that kind of saves them time. So they're not counting everything all at once. But here you can see like specialty fabric section. There's a whole bunch of notions and everything. And there was so many machines and stuff, it looks like, to start out with, and a whole bunch of equipment that already wasn't there by the time we made it to it in the afternoon. So I think if you really want to snag any of that kind of specialty stuff like mannequins or sewing bags or anything, you'd have to get there straight first thing in the morning. I feel like this is probably like, I can picture people running in the door anyway. Here are all the bolts of fabric, and then here's this whole section that we ended up spending the majority of our time in, which is all the fabric organized by color, which is a super fun, interesting way of doing it. So you could kind of go into each section depending on what you wanted and pick some stuff out, including sort of a pattern section at the end there. So here's a bunch of B-roll that Maire got of some of the accessories that they had on this table as well, because we could kind of get over here without a bunch of people over here. There was a bunch of buttonholers. I wish I really could have remembered which ones I actually needed. There was also sewing machines of like every era available, so that was really fun and really cool to see. And it looks like the majority of them had actually been tested, so they would actually run and had been cleaned up, which is really kind of cool. It was really cool to see them all together. It was kind of like a weird museum of sewing in many ways. I did want to mention that the sound in this video is a little bit funky. I think we were both struggling a little bit. I think Maire probably did a better job than me in cleaning it all up in the end. But so forgive me on this video on the sound quality. We will be back up to our regular quality on the next time. But obviously, you know, this is a trial run. We hadn't done a collab before. We'll probably use this mic that I'm doing the voiceover on, I imagine, next time. So, but yeah. There is one that they were actually calling a coffin box on a sewing machine, which is really kind of cool. And then here is the one I nearly took home. This is a hand crank sewing machine. And even for prop sake, I thought this would have been fun to take home. And you might see why on this label.
Instead, you get to see my basement.
Well, thank you for letting us use your basement.
Thank the house goose.
So, I have a whole bag.
It is a big bag.
It's a big bag. I didn't fold any of it because the ladies were going so fast measuring things.
I'm pretty sure that the reason why you have less stuff than me is because you let me use the other bag.
Well, you know, I was being nice. I dragged you to this very chaotic thing. So, the first piece...
That is a fantastic.
This is the first piece I got. I think it is some sort of cotton suiting. Tell me how wrinkled it is.
Yeah.
There's definitely some natural fiber content in there anyway. But it is really beautiful. It's a lighter color, which is what I wanted. My main goals, of course, were to get, like, things for bottoms.
This is the year of pants.
I was only so successful at that. You'll see I can make there for a second. But yeah, I think it's really pretty. And I think it'll be really beautiful for something that's like a summer... I'm thinking a summer skirt at this point. Maybe something with a couple of pleats in the front. Can make...
See, a loose pair of pants.
Yeah, I could do a loose pair of pants too. But there's like 4 meters here, so there's a ton. So it could be like a full skirt, or it could be like pants and something else. I don't know. There's options.
Light jacket.
I was trying to buy things that had a lot of meters to them, just so that I have it, so that I can make whatever my heart desires to a certain extent. So that's piece 1.
Piece 1.
Piece 2. Sort of along the same vein, actually.
Ashley and I go to the same store, and she comes out with everything that's gold.
Yeah, you can tell, even though we both do plus size and semi-historically inspired stuff, what the variance is in that. So, but anyways, I came out with this piece. This is really nice too. This is another suiting. It's like a cotton flannel suiting. Yeah, it's really soft and it's really lightweight. I kind of stood there for a minute debating about it. Really nice and lightweight. Like it's like almost like shirting weight, so it would make a really pretty either just blouse, or I could even make like a full like winter shirt dress out of it.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. So I thought it was really pretty.
What was the one that catch Eric?
Other
Ray Sunlight, semi-Ray Sunlight.
Other that button down dress,
shirt dress
that was in the club. Yeah,
yeah.
I can't remember what. I want to say Wexford, but that's not right. Oh, the dust. The dust is real a little bit on some of these.
There's going to be a lot of laundry done.
There's laundry happening. And so, I think this is all I thought.
We got a lot of plaid.
I don't know how it happened.
Plaid is in this year.
Plaid is in. We're saying it's in.
Now. Plaid in.
It's in.
No.
Wave those in the camera.
We'll just own up to it. We noticed that the other camera wasn't getting the loveliness that is all of the fabrics, so you'll see that. I'll post.
I will insert that in post. It's fine. No one will know. Another flannel plaid. Obviously, with moving back to Canada, where it is frozen, I am thinking about winter already, even though we're going into summer.
Pajamas.
So, pajamas. It is actually a nice enough flannel. Like, I think it is actually like a flannel suiting. So, I was actually thinking about other than a shirt dress or a big, Pendleton-y type skirt. I think Serena had done one other than that as well.
Yeah.
So, like a winter weight skirt. Something
will look really good enough.
Right, with the orange and the green. I feel like it's a vibe. I'm into it. Again, like 4 meters of it, so quantity, which is fantastic.
What else is in that magic bag?
Mostly yellow. This is where I kind of blanked out for a second, and it just happened.
I lost her in the yellow. I like the center area of this video was called General Fabric, and it was blocked off by color. So you'd start on the edges where they had the neutrals, black, white, gray, navy. You'd work your way into the bright colors, and I think I was somewhere around reds or blues or whatever, and she's way back in yellow, and I'm like, oh, yeah, there she is.
There she is. I just lost it. So I think this is the find of the day. Even when I walked up with this to the counter, the ladies were like, that's fantastic.
That wasn't in the special area.
It wasn't in the special area, so I think they screwed up. But because it does have silk right on the tag, and it's got sort of this, wondering if it's going to show up on camera where you can see it, but it's got like almost like a floral embedded in it.
Yep.
With the other floral on top. I have no idea. It just is so beautiful. I couldn't leave it.
That speaks lingerie.
It does. Other kind of does.
Short robe.
Other, maybe a slit.
Negligee.
Other, I don't know if we're that brave, but I've got a bit of it here. So we've got about
in a quarter. Yards.
Yards. So ideas, please, in the comments. But it is.
Do that nice.
Could be a nice shirt. Could be like a nice shirt row.
Yep.
I was like, a shell even just to go under a jacket, something. I was like, be nice. Like
Would be luxurious.
I could use it as a lining, but that would be sort of a shame, I feel like. How beautiful it is. So
not that, a negligee would be showed off to the right
shown
people.
up to someone, I guess. So really
it's yellow.
It's yellow. Big shocker. Really helpful. This is one of those really helpful. Yeah. It's a cotton, very wrinkled cotton, because we're getting towards the bottom here.
And again, it needs to go into the washer.
Yeah, but it's got like a print. It's like a yellow on yellow print that I don't think it's gonna show on camera of like tiny leaves or something.
Really pretty.
It's very pretty. A nice summer blouse.
Yep.
My goal was to come out with things that were cotton. That really helped me this sort of work, but cotton and suiting was the main. So I sort of succeeded. Really helped. The silk. I can't pass up this.
Well, no. I wouldn't have expected. I was buying and I thought, what the heck is that? And then, here I am going for the purple plaids. Ashley's going by with silk. I'm like Molgoth, crushed velvet, silk.
But I love the sheen of this too in general. I'm interested to see how it's going to wash up. But I think it'll be really nice to make a light blouse. I've decided I've bought far too much rayon for blouses because
You're too warm in the summer?
Well, and I also don't love working with it all the time. If I want a simple project that I can just
a little slippery,
chill on, it's nice to have some lightweight cotton like that.
Else in there? Oh, it's yellow.
It's yellow.
So,
really, I did break it. I got some round. Really help.
Skirt pants.
Really help.
Pants.
It's pretty light for that.
Oh yeah.
Probably could do a dress with a lining because it's a twill. I think it's like a round twill, but it's like lightweight round twill. And of course, this beautiful butter yellow color.
It's all yellow.
Pretty much.
Coldplay song in here somewhere.
So quite a bit there to do something. I think this is the main one where I'm like, I really did not have a plan. And it's just like, color round 12. What am I going to do with it? No idea. It's a lot of tank tops. So, thoughts and ideas.
Anything else in there? What color is it? Oh,
it's not yellow.
It's not yellow. It's
fish yellow?
Ivory? Peach. Very pale peach. At least under this light, it's a very pale peach.
So,
sort of a acetal.
Really look. It's like a fake moire. Like, it's definitely not a moire, and it's not even a poly moire. It's got like this print on it. Almost. I think it might be really nylon or acetate or something like that in there with the poly. I don't know if it's totally
lining.
I think it's a lining of some sort.
Yes.
So that might become really
well.
Yeah, it might be that, or it might become the lining for the top half of that. Do I have
Seville? There's a couple of coats.
It's the princess coat. That's the one. Anyway. Probably a coat lining, that was the thought. Because I think it might be really Helani, and as a test coat, I don't want to spend a ton of money.
You spend like $2.
Yeah.
So if you're going to use it for a test piece,
might as well.
You might
as well. So that is actually all I got for
fabrics.
Really
There's more than fabric.
So that's all I got for the fabrics. I didn't pick out that much else. I found the notions a little bit overwhelming because they just sort of had grab bags of notions. So really to buy a binding or something like that, I'd probably need more than one pack since they had like a grab bag of like a bunch of different colors in a bag.
Basically, the place was set up into different sections. So you'd go into a different themed section with your little piece of paper and
really
bags, and you would pretty much get what you needed. So the first section that we hit was the quilting section, where you would find quilting cottons and some patterns, some book kits, and some supplies like rulers, etc. So I came out with like a little small package of squares, and Ashley exhibited considerable willpower because she doesn't quilt at all. And then we got to the section with all of the fabric.
Then I lost all willpower.
And then she lost all willpower. But she had bags, which I did. And then we got to the wool, which is where she got to sit down and I did not. And then the notions, which yes, they had like tables full of boxes with little bags of buttons. And
yeah, I've got one of the buttons. One pack of buttons.
Guess what color they are?
Oh, if I've got all the yellow things, I need buttons to go on my yellow.
She spotted
things,
the one
right?
set of yellow buttons that happened to be at mine, and now she wants those too.
Well, because they're the exact same ones. I was like, I'd have enough to do, because my thought was like, because there's 4 prepared, so, and there's really 6 sets in this bag of all the yellow. This was pretty rare.
So she gets the 7th card. A gate will unlock and great riches win.
Actually, I think I might be okay, because I didn't realize there was 4 on one card. So I actually think I've got enough to do a shirt dress with all yellow buttons on it.
I would not be surprised if, even though she hasn't been through all of my bins, when I leave, I won't find a single yellow button.
And then, last but not least, I got a hilarious-looking book that I'm sure my mother will mock me for, and anyone of that generation.
Diane Duran really gets around.
He really does. There was actually like 3 different versions of the same book with different covers, so that was kind of fascinating. But it's actually on Smocking, which is something. Oh, and it's even got all the guides back here.
It's got gauge guides.
Gauge guides.
The dots.
So I've been really about trying to learn a little bit of Smocking, of course. Really love everything 70s. And if you've been around my channel for a hot minute, you know that I do not shun elastic of any sort in any clothing, just because I think it is really helpful for actually wearing your garments. So I think one of the ways to get around it traditionally was smocking instead of doing like shearing or something like that. So I thought about maybe if I test out a couple of the shearing projects that I might, on a really nice one, do a couple more rounds. Oh yeah, she's got a version too.
Mine is just about why you should.
Maybe
yours is on how to smock.
Maybe we'll swap. But yeah, so it's something I was interested in maybe giving a go down the road, because it's a more traditional way of dealing with it before they had that shearing elastic. And I have a plane flight coming up in about 2 months, so let's some time to sit there and possibly smock. So
yeah, we haven't managed to talk her into doing something like a quilt or
other
quilt or
sadly not.
cross stitch.
It requires additional cutting.
Yeah,
Maybe.
as long as it's in an air conditioned place.
It's air conditioned room, yes. Maybe I'll come and live in your basement. I've been threatening it over the summer anyway. So, but with all that being said, that was kind of the haul for today. I don't know what we are going to be making. I think we're both going to try and make some sort of project out of this haul. So we're going to be leaving respective polls on both channels to kind of vote on what we're going to make. Also, do go watch the other half of this video on her channel and see what she got that is in a vastly different color palette than mine. And with all that being said, I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys!
Bye!